Have you ever wondered if solving a case is the same as getting justice? This story might make you think twice. Let's go back to February 16th, 1964, in Santa Ana, California. At the now demolished California motel, a horrific discovery was made. The body of 47-year-old Christine Wariner was found in her room. The scene was brutal. She had been raped, strangled, and bludgeoned. For decades, the case went cold. A tragic mystery with no answers, and a family left in perpetual grief. The only real clue investigators had was a single, bloody handprint left on the motel room door. But in 1964, DNA technology was science fiction. The evidence was there, but the science needed to unlock its secrets was still years away. Decades passed. Detectives retired, memories faded, and the California motel was torn down, erasing the physical location of the crime. But the evidence, carefully preserved, remained. The bloody handprint was a silent witness, waiting for its moment. That moment finally came in 2007. A full 43 years after Christine's murder. As forensic technology advanced, investigators were finally able to extract a DNA profile from that handprint. They ran it through the national database. And suddenly, they had a match. The print belonged to a man named Charles Edward Faith. Who was Charles Edward Faith? At the time of the murder, he was a man in his early 20s with a criminal record. He was a convicted sex offender, which immediately raised red flags for investigators. With the DNA match placing him directly at the scene, the puzzle pieces started to fall into place. The Orange County Sheriff's Department began to build their case, painstakingly piecing together evidence from over half a century ago. They were confident they had their man. The DNA was the key that unlocked the oldest cold case in Orange County history. For the investigators, and for Christine's family, it felt like justice was finally within reach. After years of meticulous work following the DNA hit, the district attorney's office officially filed murder charges against Charles Edward Faith. He was now an old man, a far cry from the young offender he was in 1964. The case was set. It seemed like the final chapter was about to be written, and Christine Wariner's killer would finally be held accountable in a court of law. But that's not what happened. As the legal process began, a new and unexpected obstacle emerged. Charles Edward Faith's health was rapidly declining. He was deemed medically unfit to stand trial. His physical and mental condition had deteriorated to a point where he could unparticipate in his own defense. In 2016, the state had to make a heartbreaking decision. They were forced to withdraw the murder charges. It was a devastating blow for everyone who had worked on the case, and for Christina's surviving relatives. There was a small glimmer of hope. The district attorney stated that if Faith's health were to improve, the charges could be reinstated. But time was not on their side. That hope was extinguished in April 2018 when Charles Edward Faith died. He passed away without ever facing a jury, without ever being formally convicted for the murder of Christine Wariner. So, here we are. The case is officially closed. Investigators identified the killer. The evidence pointed directly to him. But was justice truly served? The man believed to be responsible for this terrible crime lived his entire life as a free man and died of natural causes. There was no trial, no conviction, no day in court for Christine's family to see him held accountable. The Orange County Sheriff's Department solved their oldest cold case, a remarkable achievement of persistence and technology. But the story of Christine Wariner leaves us with a lingering, uncomfortable question. When a killer is identified but never convicted, is the case truly over? What does justice really mean? Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into true crime cases.